In the previous Batman Forever video, I mentioned that I wanted to take a look at the cut content and merchandise based on Batman Forever. So let's begin by taking a look at the things that should have been included in the movie, as apparently a few things were kept in the comic book adaptation, such as the Riddler using a syringe to put Dr. Chase Meridian to sleep. I've heard that those who saw the movie in theaters ended up seeing that particular scene included in the film. I don't see why injecting Chase Meridian with a syringe is considered too much for audiences, but of course it was only cut because studios wanted the movie to be more kid-friendly. Batman Forever got many of its scenes cut from the original script, and even though many of the cut scenes ended up being featured in the deleted scenes, they still did not feature every removed scene from Batman Forever. So the most we can look at for cut content would be through trailers and promotional images that may have been featured in trading cards and collectible merchandise. The trailers would end up showing us quick edits and unused shots that were never featured in the movie nor deleted scenes. Apparently Batman's fight against Harvey's goons in the beginning of the movie was meant to be a little longer. Some of these scenes could have been alternate takes, but here are some of the examples.
Going down. If the Bat wants to play, we'll play.
Going through research for this movie's cut content let me in on what happened during production of the film. For example, at one point, H.R. Giger was chosen to design the new Batmobile, but he was let go after creative differences. And if you look at his Batmobile designs, they were quite weird. Looking at one of his sketches, he was aiming to make the Batmobile look like a giant pair of scissors. This definitely wouldn't work for the next Batmobile. It can't even work for a villain's vehicle, so it's understandable why they let him go. As I'm sure you already know, Robin Williams was originally meant to be the Riddler, but he turned down the role many times. Perhaps Tommy Lee Jones would have had a better time filming by the Riddler's side if it was Robin Williams who took the role. As according to Jim Carrey, Tommy Lee Jones hated working with him, and Jones said that he could not sanction his buffoonery. There was a possibility that Jones was just pissed at Carrey for being the center of attention wherever they went, and seeing as Jim Carrey was always being humorous in an over-exaggerated way, this would make him seem more like a goofball than a professional actor. However, Batman Forever's Two-Face is the only Two-Face to act like the Joker rather than a serious individual. So it leaves me wondering if Tommy Lee Jones was overacting like Jim Carrey just to one-up his performance, or if Joel Schumacher told Jones to act that way. So apparently the original version of Batman Forever was meant to be closer to 2 hours and 40 minutes long. It was said to be a darker version than the final product, but luckily most of the scenes were included in the special edition DVD that was released in 2005 for the film's 10th anniversary. We finally got to see the original opening of the film, which was Harvey's escape from Arkham Asylum. This would be removed from the original cut just because producers felt that it was far too dark for a family-friendly audience. Bunch of sissies. There was also an extended scene where Batman confronts Two-Face on a chopper, and in the rough edit you can hear Val Kilmer saying his lines, but his voice sounds like Robin's tone of voice.
You need help, Harvey. Give it up.
We need help. Have you looked in the mirror lately?
I tried to save you. Blame it on me. What's insane?
Yes, insane, yes, but look at us. We have to hate somebody. There's only one way out of this waltz. Somebody dies.
I won't kill you.
Chuck, come on in. Batman doesn't kill. That's a good one. It's too good to be true. What's that lethal curl of the lip? What's that homicidal gleam in the eye? You're a killer too, and you know it.
I'm sure he had to say his lines out loud while hanging onto the practical chopper, which would become difficult to say anything in a deep voice that way. So they must have had Val Kilmer redo his lines in a deeper voice and edit them in.
You need help, Harvey. Give it up.
One scene featured a local Gotham City talk show with Dr. Meridian as a guest talking about Batman. For the longest time, I could have sworn that I saw that scene as a kid, so maybe it was aired on television at one point. Similar to Jaws 2, where for some reason the helicopter scene was extended in the television censored version and not included in the unrated version. There was an extended scene where the Riddler and Two-Face team up, but it wasn't featured in the deleted scenes, so there is a chance that this scene was going to be the one featured in the comic book adaptation, where they're laying on a couch with Sugar and Spice passing the box around. Tell me that's actually a scene that was shot. I can understand why they'd remove it due to how it resembles a group of friends puff passing it, and wanting this to be a kid-friendly family film would be inappropriate for kids, if they understood the reference. The bat nipples and Dr. Meridian were the real inappropriate assets of the film, so producers must have been sniffing bat droppings if they thought that they were making the right censorship decisions. For starters, they should never interfere with the work of the director. That way, there is no one else to blame but the director if it gets bad ratings. But that'll never happen. A deleted scene showed Batman entering a building which turned out to be a beauty salon, where they all laugh at him. I can see why this scene was removed. However, this scene was meant to show that after the casino robbery, the Riddler was throwing Batman off track by messing with the Batmobile's tracking device, and this would explain why Batman had not taken them down. The next deleted scene is one of my favorites. It's a conversation between Bruce Wayne and Dick Grayson. Dick was training himself with the Wing Chun dummy and a newspaper image of Two-Face attached to it. This is a scene that I would have liked to have seen included in the movie, as it does develop more of Grayson's personal training and vengeful motives. Dick was not shown to be given any sort of training by Bruce after his parents were murdered. So if he was going to put on his own costume and fight crime, he would need some sort of martial arts training, especially if they were going to go after Riddler and Two-Face. This could explain why Dick was able to hold his own for a while against a group of thugs. However, Robin did not require any sort of training to beat up Two-Face, and he was easily captured in his first team-up with Batman. Batman needed to rescue Robin even before they reached Claw Island, so I guess it works either way if it's included or not. There was a scene of Bruce and Alfred examining the Enigma tech box, but only this has been shown. Then there were two important deleted scenes that were included in the special DVD edition. One establishes Bruce in the Batcave shortly after Dick Grayson rescued him from the debris. And in this scene, Bruce is watching the GNN news where they accuse Batman of being the reason why there are so many costumed freaks causing so much havoc throughout the city. They believe that if Batman retires, they will leave as well. This leaves Bruce wondering whether he should retire, and Alfred assures him that he does have that option. But Bruce isn't so sure whether he should continue being Batman. More questions lead him down a path towards his past, and he asks, is he Bruce Wayne as Batman, or Batman as Bruce Wayne? The next important deleted scene is the answer he was looking for. In this scene, Alfred leads Bruce to a part of the cave that frightened Bruce as a child. He enters, and soon discovers the diary of his father. After reading the last page, he blames himself for the death of his parents. And suddenly, a giant terrifying bat emerges from beneath the shadows. But Bruce faces it with no fear, and instead embraces it. He comes to the conclusion that he is, and always will be, Batman forever. So as you can see, this deleted scene is not only the answer he was looking for, but it is also the reason why the movie is called Batman Forever. It is a huge mistake not to include these two important deleted scenes. Luckily, with some editing tricks, anyone can put these scenes back in the movie with the correct audio, and view the film the way it was meant to be seen. Now, you're probably wondering, what else did we miss out on if not all deleted scenes were included in the special features? Well, sources like batonfilm.com have pointed out that there was an extended scene for Bruce and Alfred's conversation as Batman flies through the tunnel connecting Wayne Tech and the Batcave. There was an extended or alternate dialogue takes all throughout the bank robbery and helicopter scene. More footage of Edward Nygma becoming the Riddler, which sounds interesting. There were extended shots of the circus attack and the Ritz Gotham party. A scene on the construction of Nygma Tech with Edward Nygma wearing a hard hat and helping with construction, as well as the scenes I pointed out that were and weren't included in the special features. Sadly, it doesn't look like we'll ever get to see any of these deleted scenes since they didn't bother to include them all in the film's 10th anniversary DVD. So the most we can do is view promotional images and merchandise like trading cards and see some of the material that wasn't seen in the movie. Now, the merchandise was phenomenal. McDonald's promoted the movie, which could have been the reason why Batman says this.
Can I persuade you to take a sandwich with you, sir?
I'll get drive-through.
You gotta love those McDonald's commercials. They even include Batman and the Riddler turning into a cup. And according to these commercials, the Batcave is connected to McDonald's, where the Riddler buys one of the cups and storms out.
Here you are, sir. Batman.
Now I've got him!
This Batman is definitely looking out for McDonald's. He even supplies them with free straws. We've talked about the comic book adaptation, which included some of the cut content in the film. The promo cards unfortunately don't reveal any scenes that weren't shown in the film. The animaction cards did reveal some interesting events, such as Two-Face before he escaped Arkham Asylum, still wearing that prisoner outfit, something we did not get to see. We are even shown Harvey Dent escaping Arkham Asylum. The Batman Forever toys were actually quite unique. This Robin figure is one of the coolest toys I grew up with. Robin is not wearing his eye mask, but if you pour warm water on the face, his eye mask will literally appear. Also, when Batman Forever was released, Six Flags had their own stunt show, which luckily I do remember attending one of them, but it wasn't like this one. I'm pretty sure the one I saw had a jet ski performance in there. Now, the best thing that came out from the Batman Forever movie was the soundtrack. The score soundtrack is also memorable, but the soundtrack is great. We have music by U2, The Flaming Lips, Seal, Method Man, Mazzy Star, The Offspring, Brandy, Nick Cave, PJ Harvey, and more. It's a fantastic soundtrack that's worth checking out.
Only one soundtrack is forever. Batman Forever.
There are still a few more things that I haven't covered yet that are based on Batman Forever, but next time we'll be taking a look at the video games based on Batman Forever, but in a similar manner to these comparison videos about the movies and comic book adaptations, followed by the differences in the novelization of the film, which is based on the screenplay of the film, and is said to feature every scene that wasn't included in the movie. So, with that said, that's it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if so, be sure to leave a like, share with others, and subscribe if you haven't. And if you'd like to see some extra content, or you'd like to see your name at the end of the videos, then feel free to support the channel by donating a single $1 to my Patreon. There are also additional perks for donating more than $1. The link is on the description, along with the link to my Facebook page, Tumblr, DeviantArt, and Twitter. But anyways, I'll see you all in the next video, and remember to have an awesome day.